right, welcome to Gen X Rated Tuesday edition. How we doing, Billy?
Not too bad. Just your average Tuesday. Leaves are coming out. The sun's out. The birds are chirping, and oh yeah, we're gonna threaten to wipe out a civilization this evening. That's something.
Total annihilation. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, just in time for the trees to start budding, just to have our nuclear war. Amazing.
because we've got a demented pedophile in office who will do literally anything, will torch the world to keep it from coming out that he likes to diddle and maybe murder youngsters. Great.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a maybe to it. It all seems pretty legit. We've seen very little of the Epstein files. 3 million isn't really scratching the surface of what's out there. Iran did say today they'll start releasing it themselves. I know the rest of the world's way more advanced as far as what's going on with those files than we are, because we're pretty much on a media clampdown, especially when the powers that be own most of Sinclair and the rest of the national media. It's not
Well, they
helping.
own CBS.
CBS, sure. Anything with even Ellison's group with CNN. I mean, we're just not privy to it. But the point being, if you watch C-SPAN and if you listen to our congressmen and women talk about what they're finding that they were able to access through the files, it's legit. This guy did some really bad things with a 13-year-old for a 2-year period. She was deemed credible by the FBI to the point where it's all on record, but her feeling was, how's she going to come forward at this point when this was in her past and it's not something that they're willing to do anything about? I mean, again, we don't help these victims. We just make it harder.
Oh yeah. I mean, why would you put yourself at risk like that? We've seen what happens to people that stick their necks out.
For sure.
And just because Pam Bondi's gone, she's been replaced by somebody who may be even worse.
I think he is worse. I mean, he Trump's military all the years, and that's his focus. We can see that now. He already said, "Hey, I put away the Epstein files. Nothing to see here. We've been through that." And then today he took a turn to move it on to something else, which was fraudsters, scammers, and youngsters.
Hipsters, hippies.
Yeah, he likes to point out that it's really about people hating Trump, like almost like this derangement syndrome. So he came out the other day and said, we're done with the Epstein files, no more. Won't be releasing anything else. Don't worry, the rest of the world has that information anyway. But today he came out and talked about opening up a new national fraud detention center. Now, these detention centers are right up there with private prisons. I mean, they seem very popular. Our government's buying a bunch of warehouses and such to concentrate people that they don't agree with, I guess. And I don't want to get too far off the point, but fraudsters, scammers, tax cheats, or anyone who lies to get rich off the generosity of the American public, he's going after. This is now the focus of the FBI.
Look in the mirror. Look around you. Your whole fucking cabinet. Everybody you know, Trump, every friend of yours. Jesus Christ, your whole family. I hope it's a nice big warehouse because there's a lot of you people. It ain't us, it's you.
I was really hoping he would start in the Oval Office first, but who knows? But back to your point about Iran, the clock is ticking. B-52s took off this morning. They plan to be in the area by 8 p.m. That was Trump's whole deadline for, I don't even know what he wants from them, frankly. He just wants the strait opened up. The UN has been giving talks today and holding meetings. Russia and China are firmly behind supporting Iran. They feel like the U.S. is the aggressor here. A lot of people, though Trump says we don't need the strait, we do. We need helium. We need our laptops. We need our chips.
Fertilizer.
Correct. He thinks it's everybody else's problem, but it really isn't. It's our problem as well. But he just doesn't have the mental capacity to process any of this stuff anymore, it would seem.
No, he doesn't. I mean, Joe Biden had a bad debate and looked a little frazzled, and they were up in arms. And this guy is so fucking out to lunch. I mean, that Easter tweet that he put out was ridiculous.
It was pretty.
And yet they won't raise a finger. The Republicans are just in lockstep. They're like a bunch of fucking lemmings just following this guy off a cliff.
For
And
sure.
Democrats are just watching with their thumbs up their ass.
And yeah, and it's kind of monkey see, monkey do, because I saw, Fetterman, who's now talking about maybe running as an independent or Republican. But he's in that comfy chair, and he's also doing insider trading. So,
Oh, yeah.
you get
His
a
ass is not getting reelected to anything in Pennsylvania. They hate him.
yeah, he's not making many friends there. He's done nothing to help other than support Trump in Israel. Israel's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
Seems kind of weird. Trump's exact words were, "A whole civilization will die tonight." When they asked Rubio about that statement and asking if that was not a war crime, he just walked away.
Oh, little Marco and his big floppy clown shoes.
Yeah. So, people talk about, the 25th Amendment. Let's, he's out of his mind, whatever. You would need somebody in the cabinet to bring this about. You'd need the vice president to bring the cabinet together. The vice president's in Hungary right now campaigning for Orban. Orban's down in Hungary by 19% right now. I don't think anybody's buying into it. Maybe that'll change. Maybe Elon knows those computers really well over there too. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure.
But they said, they started blaming Ukraine. You know how those people are, and these are JD Vance's words about elections and interference and such. Meanwhile, we have a vice president of the United States over in Hungary, basically interfering in other people's elections.
Oh, yeah. Anytime they accuse anybody else of something, they're pointing the finger right at themselves.
Yeah, that seems about right. To the point of the 25th Amendment, he's not even in the country. The vice president's out of the country. Congress isn't even in session. How are you going to call these guys back? They just seem to think, I guess, and maybe if you look at the wagering sites as to the people making money on whether we'll go in or not, maybe that's the telltale. I don't know. But this seems terrifying. That he, and JD Vance said it today in his speech with Orban, tactical nuclear weapons. You cannot use nuclear weapons and not think that others are going to pull their cachet out of weapons.
It's like eating potato chips, man. Once you pop one, forget it. Everybody's going to dig their hands into that bag. And that is pretty much the end of civilization as all of us know it, unless you've got a secret bunker under the White House.
I mean, the safest place would be up in Artemis too.
Yeah, right. Jesus.
They said they got that call from Trump. It was completely awkward. He was pounding his chest about America and talking about some other stuff, even though the Canadian was on board. And he just said our neighbor to the north. He couldn't even use the C word. And then he stopped talking, and it was awkwardly quiet for quite a while. Just crickets.
Yeah.
But apparently after that conversation, they'd like to not come back.
How long can we stay out here for?
You said 10 days, but
maybe we can stretch it a little bit.
Seriously, even without the toilet functioning properly, we're okay with it.
Oh, it's just so maddening. It's like watching a fucking train wreck in slow motion. And again, these are the same people. Joe Biden misses a step or, looks a little wobbly on his bike, which he can ride. I don't think we've seen Trump on a bicycle in decades. And, it's a national disaster and he's got to go. Oh, the auto pen. He can't even sign his name. And yet you've got a world leader, arguably the most powerful leader in the world, with nuclear codes, just raving and ranting like a fucking lunatic. He's really demented. And yet they will do nothing. They'll do nothing. They won't lift a finger. His cabinet, they're all in, man. And the GOP, I don't even know why they're afraid of him. I mean, he's a fucking easy target. He's nuts.
Yeah.
It just makes no sense. And the Democrats are just kind of tissing on the sidelines.
I know.
Maybe Chuck Schumer will write another strongly worded letter. Or maybe Jeffries will issue a really strongly worded tweet.
You got that
ridiculous.
Right. Those were put out today, of course.
Yeah, it's pathetic. It's so sad and fucking pathetic, and it's maddening. This is all self-inflicted. This is the equivalent of just taking a fork and sticking it in your eye just because.
Well, we talked about it. It's not a left-right thing. These are just oligarchs essentially. There's nobody in that cabinet that isn't extremely wealthy. It's like the Senate club. I mean, you protect the Senate before you protect anybody because that's our club. Yeah, these people are just disgusting. And I don't want to bring up Lindsey Graham, but to watch him leaving the club on a Sunday after some golf with his cocktail in his hand and saying he'll bomb anybody if it keeps America safe. It's just
Safe from what? There was no threat. Iran even said, we're not threatening you.
Yeah. They've been really crystal clear on what they'd like to portray as are there negotiations? Aren't there negotiations? I mean, it's all lies. So on our end, it's so muddied. This guy can't tell a true tale, and they're trying to give it to you straight. I mean, we saw the letter that they put out before he made his big announcement. I mean, they're asking legit questions to the American public. Are you okay with this? Is this really what you want, Lester?
Yeah, really, Lester?
Yeah, and it really isn't. I mean, I'm looking at the clock. We're talking hours, and this is a horrific thing. And sure, he bluffs all the time. Taco is always changing his mind to make money off the markets, and that's great for him and his cronies. But this is terrifying.
It is terrifying. And, and maybe, hey, listen, maybe those B-52s are loaded with rubber ducks that they're just gonna drop, but probably not.
I think the best hope, and I've seen several reports of it, is that the military might refuse to back illegal orders. It's your best case scenario.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what to believe at this point. But again, you've got a third of the country that's sitting on the edge of their chair rooting this on. Yeah, kill them all, burn them up.
I'd say maybe a quarter, because they're kind of dim-witted and they're sycophants. I'd hate to think it's any higher than that.
Yeah.
You're probably right.
Trump does love the poorly educated.
Well, and he's the first to tell you that, am I right?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. The Iranians have asked for a human shield around power plants. I saw it in the European press today. They're out in full force around the power plant. They're just normal citizens, but they're defending their country and supporting it. And if you're going to create, this catastrophe, which are war crimes, what do you want them to do? You want them to sit in their houses? They're coming out. They're showing their numbers. They're legit, and it's all because of these Epstein files, which again, Iran said that they're going to start to put them out themselves because.
Do it.
Yeah,
do it. The world needs to see it. This has to come out.
He's going after civilian targets. That's a war crime. That's been mentioned. The UN reiterated, "Hey, you understand that is illegal." Maybe he does. Maybe he doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
Iran is no joke either, as we spoke about in the past. They released that they have 10 bridge targets of their own throughout the Middle East, which could really make things a little tougher. But we as a country bombed their colleges, their universities.
Yeah, that was sickening.
And these are some great minds that come out of these engineering schools. One of them is a historic university that's been there for, thousands of years, shall I say. We just don't appreciate anybody else's history.
No, we don't. We think our history, the history of the world started, well, maybe with Jesus Christ for some people, but with, the Declaration of Independence in the United States. The Persians are an ancient society. They were very advanced. When the Europeans were fucking shitting in a chamber pot and throwing it out the window into the street, it just, none of this makes any sense at all.
Yeah, no, you're right. And we discount them based on what the color of their skin, or location on the globe that they are. I mean, it's just super short-sighted. The other end of that was the Iranians guaranteeing that you'll have no oil, period. You want to play this game? Okay.
Is this really what you want, Lester?
Yeah. Maybe those windmills are more important to Trump after the fact. Maybe solar power might be more important.
Well, here's the thing. You want to see a society fall apart pretty quick. You just wait till 3 or 4 days when the supermarket shelves are empty and the grid's starting to go down. Watch how fast this whole thing that we've set up, this whole house of cards that we call our society, fucking just collapses.
I think you're right. To that end, I paid $4.40 a gallon today in the Midwest. Shocking. You and I were complaining 3-4 weeks ago when it went up to like $2.80. I was like, holy mackerel.
Yeah.
Not quite the $1.98 gas he had talked about, but to that point, I was shocked. 440, and that's just getting started.
Yeah, and again, all of this is self-inflicted.
We're asking for it.
There was no need for it. There was no threat. There was nothing. And, Obama had a deal set up in place that the Iranians had signed it. Trump tore that up his first day.
He's asking for the same deal, which is even more irritating and infuriating, frankly. Same deal. We already had that deal. You said
Yeah, we had that, sir. Sir, this is the greatest deal in the history of the world.
Yes, because I just cut and pasted it from the other guy. Yeah, and to
Barack
that
Hussein Obama.
God, that never gets old. And the rest of the world's noticing. I mean, you can't really hide that. I mean, we saw where France sold all their gold out of the feds here. So the New York Federal Reserve, all their gold has been sold. They did repurchase with their profits gold in Europe. We'll keep it at home. And the end game with that is there's no trust here. That could just go away. That could be a Trump fee. Ooh, hey, sorry about that.
He's even pissed off the Saudis.
Yeah, they're done with us. They won't be buying any more military equipment from us. Once he brought up about kissing his ass, MBS did not like that. He's a terrible person too, but
I think they're withdrawing from their investment fund now, aren't they? They're not going to be investing in us at all.
I think they're pretty much done, but it did start with military, arms for one. We can find that someplace else.
Yeah.
Does Jared get to keep the $2 billion? Probably. He's just
mind-boggling.
So, and to that point, with Trump and his nonsense, he was the arch is now going to cost $15 million, and it was all going to be donations, much like the ballroom, which again they're having to stop. An order came out today from a federal court that they had to wait. Congress does have to approve it. It's not just one guy's opinion. But that arch is going to be $15 million, and he wants to take it from the National Endowment for the Arts.
Your shitty arch is not a piece of artwork.
No, and that is also taxpayer funded. So
of course it is.
I guess we are paying for it, but wow, that arch.
We've been paying.
Week after week after week. Yeah. So also on that area as well, the White House renovations is now up to $377 million. He put it in the budget, so this is all coming off the 2027 federal budget. He's requesting an 800% increase from last year, so he's going to need that money from taxpayers as well to renovate the bunker.
Sounds like a guy that doesn't plan on ever leaving.
I know, right? Well, he did make mention of that.
That in itself should be alarming, and yet I don't know what it's going to take. I really don't.
Well, I guess somebody's going to have to grow a spine, or he's just not going to have to do well physically. We already know mentally he's not doing well. It's just a lot. But we're starting to see the trend here. Everybody's bragging about AI. Everybody's bragging about how they're going to have all this automated stuff, and we're not going to need employees to do this, that, or the other. We talked about last week about Oracle firing 30,000 people. That did not go over really well. We mentioned how by the time you get this email, your card won't work anymore to get into the building. Your check will be mailed to you. People really took offense to that. People were showing up at work. People were showing up at management's homes. So the higher ups at Oracle had to hire some Blackwater people for protection. Now I came out today that they're hiring back 8,000 of those 30,000 workers, but they're bringing back as contractors. So there'll be no benefits. And they're getting 40% of their pay. So 60% pay cut. If you want to come back, you're basically doing the same job. But
yeah, and maybe it will have you working twice as hard.
More than likely, yes. And it's just a theme. And we haven't even seen the tip of the iceberg with these oil prices. We haven't noticed it so much on jet fuel yet, but FedEx is adding a fuel surcharge of 25 or 26.5% for most packages. Delta raised their fee on bags, your first bag, $10 more, $45. So $45 for your first bag, $55 for your second bag, and $200 if you want to bring 3 bags. I don't know where you're going, but that seems pretty extreme.
Holy shit.
United has already upped theirs, so that's already out there. And then we brought up this new phrase, kind of like when W. Bush talked about so American having 2 and 3 jobs. It's just amazing. Now those that are retired are having to unretire. It's a new unretirement plan because their cost of inflation, the cost of everything is more than they would have expected when they did retire. So they're driving Uber, they're becoming dog walkers, they're doing in-home healthcare, whatever it takes to get some money. And if it can be under the table, even better.
Yeah.
Frankly.
Oh, it's good for you. Get out there and meet some new people, get some fresh air.
That's right. You thought you were going to retire. Psych. Yeah. And then part of the other budget that he's asking for in 2027, he literally wants to eliminate Job Corps. Job Corps is free education and vocational training for young Americans. We want you all in the factory. We want you learning all these skills because we don't want you going to universities, but we're going to get rid of Job Corps. I mean, it's a giant contradiction. It makes no sense. And then I thought the most telling part was that a pound of ground meat right now is more than the federal minimum wage per hour.
Unbelievable.
It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. So the economy is not looking great. And there can often be some unrest when that sort of thing happens. So we know this election talk. We know that Trump's terrified of the upcoming midterms because everything's looking really bad. We voted today. I hope you got out today to vote.
I will this afternoon.
Excellent. Wasn't a whole lot on the ballot today, but my feeling is that those that don't come out and vote on a down ballot or whatever you want to call it, when there's very little, I think here we have the mayor, they can take you off the rolls. Hey, didn't vote last time, probably not going to vote next time.
Mm-hmm.
So do your due diligence, vote. It's people died for this right to vote. That's what part of what makes this country amazing. So even on a down year, get out there and do it.
Yeah.
Hopefully that'll happen. But Trump is floating an executive order to override the voting system. He'd like to declare a national emergency based on some kind of false claim about the 2020 election. Are we still on that?
Seriously. And so you're going to have this emergency go on until November?
Well, all he has to do is declare this emergency, and then it kicks in sweeping presidential power, so he can kind of do whatever he wants.
This is horrifying. This is not America. This is not any vision of America that probably the vast majority of us ever thought we'd see here.
For sure. I thought corporations were the devil. I didn't realize it was the orange guy in the White House.
Yeah. And the corporations were fucking just letting him get away with it, egging him on, bending the knee.
And the Supreme Court allowed them, corporations, to be an individual so they can give as much money as they want to whoever's going to do right by him.
Yeah. And yeah, my thought is like, how do these corporations expect to keep earning money and paying their shareholders when nobody's got any money to spend?
It's pretty sure.
How is that supposed to work? When are they going to realize that?
Hopefully sooner than later, because you're absolutely right about that. Also, along with the election and curbing the vote, there's a budget request for NSPM 7, which is an FBI center that's dedicated to monitoring Americans for ideological beliefs. They want to find out indicators if you could be a domestic terrorist. So it's your beliefs about gender, race, morality, family values, anti-Christianity, and anti-ICE. I mean, it's a pretty big list. It's
a pretty big list. A lot of people are going to be on that list. And it's just, again, this is horrifying. This is right out of Soviet Russia or, you know, the Mao era of China, you know, ideological purification.
This guy's feeling it. And then you can look at Ohio, who is currently trying to ban sports bras on women in public. It kind of falls under their drag queen laws, but they want full coverage.
The fuck out of here. This is just ridiculous. And that's got to be coming from these evangelical assholes. And the next thing you know, they're going to want women in burqas. I mean, who gives a fuck? If you can't deal with a woman in a sports bra or leggings, then that's your problem.
Absolutely.
Oh, they're just tempting me. Well, control yourself. You're a grown man. You're a grown adult. What the fuck is wrong with you?
I mean, guys can walk around all day without a shirt on. Like, come on.
Yeah,
Are
and
you
most of them
tempting
probably
anybody?
shouldn't.
Yeah, good point. Also in that same state, Ohio has a House Bill 754 that's aimed at creating a pregnancy registry across the state of Ohio.
Horrifying.
Correct. And while this is all going on, Trump wants to eliminate the teen pregnancy prevention program and sexual risk avoidance program. Anything that might educate these kids, not that interested in. I know the Republicans say that Trump has a way with children.
He's had his way with children, that's for sure. No doubt
maybe,
about that.
maybe not the best way for them to phrase it, but hey, I think we all know facts from facts, and this guy's just dirty. It's gross. Anyway, I have some other things that aren't so Trump detailed, but he is the one pulling the strings concerning the environment. Once again, just last year, we lost 1.6 million bee colonies. They had a massive die-off at the end of just in the last year. Bees are pretty important if you like eating. They do a lot of work. But we were fortunate enough last year that we had this Beltsville Agricultural Research Center. And it's through the USDA, and they were able to find what the deal was with the colonies dying last year. It was some kind of mites that were the pesticides didn't handle these mites, and then these mites sickened the bees, and then these colonies died. It's a food and farm research. It's been around for 100+ years. Bee research started even earlier in 1891 because it is such an important priority to how we eat, how we live. And it's moved around several times, but in 1939, it settled in Beltsville. So it's the Beltsville Agricultural Research Center. It happens to be on some land just outside the Beltway that's worth a lot of money. So now the talk is that he's planning on closing it. Who needs it? Bees are bees, right? It's, again, very short-sighted not to worry about bee health when we all like to eat. But he plans to have it fully closed within the next 2 years, which is kind of terrifying just based on what the cash value of this land that you're going to build what on.
Luxury homes for the 1%. I don't know, but it's just that is really fucked up.
It is. And since you brought up building, it's twofold because now they're going into the forestry. Elon and his crew came through and they fired a bunch of forest experts last year, about 6,000 of them. They made the joke that, is that even a job? The ranger at the park, what's he doing? He wears a hat and hangs out with, Yogi Bear or some shit. Completely offensive. There's a lot that goes on. But to my point, Trump's going to close the Pacific Northwest Station Bozeman, which is basically the pillar of wildlife protection since 1925. The bees, 1939, this, 1925. I mean, this is all historical stuff that's been in place that has kept us eating fruits and vegetables, being able to survive as a culture. He's going to shut down 74% of all Forest Service research facilities. That's 57 of 77 or 59 of 77 in 31 states he's just going to get rid of, and then wants to reorganize because the focus needs to be on boosting timber production, not on the forest. So to your point about building, yeah, this is great. We can get all this timber, maybe build on the old bee research park. But it's so short-sighted. It's so backward ass. And to me, and I say it with pride, it's very un-American. Like, I don't even know how we start thinking this way, that everything's about the greenback.
Yeah, it is. It's horrific. It's just horrifying.
Well, I don't know that that's going to change. This does have to go through Congress. If the Republicans continue to back this pedophile who's a criminal and now wants to genocide the Iranian people, how are we going to push back these budget cuts? I mean, these bees affect all of us. The forestry affects all of us. It's
everyone who likes to eat, and that's all of us.
Quite a bit of a eater, for sure. I just, again, find it so short-sighted and just kind of weird. Um, how the process goes, and then our congressmen and women that are supposed to look out for us, we vote for them, they represent us, they're not representing us at all. We don't really have a say. I called Holly's office again, voicemail, guessed it.
Every time, you never hear, yeah, you never get an actual person there.
No, but they do string you along long enough to keep you frustrated. And I'm hoping they at least listen to the comments that are made if you leave a voicemail.
I would hope so. Who knows? I have no faith in that guy.
I know he's
Horse-faced, jogging Josh.
There is talk he may run for president. I think that was kind of funny.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, he's going to need it. Let's see what else. What else good news is there out there today? We talked about the 25th Amendment. Again, we talked about JD being out of the country. The Congress is in recess, so they can't really do any of this stuff. But there is a Article 2, Section 4, that has the president and vice president and all his civil officers are removed from office on impeachment for conviction of treason, bribery, and other high crimes and misdemeanors. So let's not just take the head of the snake. Let's take that whole regime, right? I'd like to see that whole cabinet go, because you want to tell me Lutnick was only in the Epstein files for a little bit?
Just a little bit. And I saw that massage table, and I told my wife, we're never coming back here. He's gross. Hey, where's the party at? I'm bringing my 2 nannies and my kids.
That Jeffrey recommended. Oh, wow, that mask over that dental chair looks a lot like you. No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it is in fact him. I just don't know where it ends, because Israel has enough confidence that Netanyahu, at least a guy that looked like him, is listing Turkey as the next existential threat to Israel that has to be dealt with.
See, I don't get that. Isn't Turkey that Trump's friends with what's his face?
Well, Orban's in Hungary. I know he
Erdogan.
Yes, exactly, in Turkey, but
that's Trump's buddy.
I mean, the supreme ruler is Netanyahu, apparently.
Holy shit! This just gets weirder and weirder, worse and worse.
I know. Well, plenty of guys from the ex-FBI and CIA have come out and said that Trump is compromised. I mean, Netanyahu had him, Putin had him on the other end. Like, where are you going with that?
Straight to hell, apparently.
I mean, Epstein did financial work for Putin.
Yeah, I mean, Epstein was working every angle. He was selling information to everybody.
For sure. And telling the powers that be where to put their money.
Mm-hmm.
At least those that might throw them out of a 9th floor window.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I think he prioritized his lady fund as opposed to anything more than that. I don't think that guy had a heart or a soul, or I don't know.
No, just a soulless goon. And how did he convince Les Wexler to give him all that money? I mean, there's talk that maybe there was a secret relationship.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I mean, this whole thing is just it's such a tangled web, and it's deep down a rabbit hole.
Yeah, it really is. And you can go in so many different directions. And it's really hard to keep the focus, just because there's so much out there. I mean, between like cannibalism and the pedophilia and the trying to make your own little human, and it's insane. Not to mention the violence of it all.
Is anything coming out of New Mexico?
Yeah, I did see that bones are being found. But again, it's pretty quiet because it's a state-run investigation. They're trying to avoid the feds getting in there at all, because that just tends to shut things down.
Yeah, no good.
That is progressing. On the flip side of that, Ghislaine Maxwell's making her list of 25 people that she's going to threaten to throw under her bus so she can get her pardon.
I wonder, at what point do those 25 people start to think, you know what, maybe it's just easier if she just goes away?
I think you're right, except the one that's in prison right now doesn't really look like her.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
So
So I don't know what's going on with that
m-
one.
much like fake Melania, maybe
Hmm.
fake Maxwell gets the pardon. Currently she's doing her own research because she has internet access, apparently, unmonitored, and a puppy.
And a puppy.
So yeah, she is the worst of the worst. She has no remorse. People that came in contact with her in prison said that she just doesn't care. That they watched the interviews. She's in the room. She just doesn't care. Didn't bother her. Didn't affect her at all.
It's a shame she's not in just a regular prison where, people like her definitely have a much rougher time.
Yeah. Well, they're taking good care of her because she holds a lot of information that they don't want to come out.
So did Epstein.
We are guessing he's not around anymore either. I mean, those guards were asleep. The video was taken. I mean, it just gets weirder because then they start dragging in the Kirk thing, right?
Hmm.
I mean, all these tie-ins with Charlie Kirk and that kid that his ballistics don't match, and then they go back to how he passed, and then how his handlers took over that whole $100 million company that she's running now.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
hasn't missed a beat.
Those
Um,
fake tears.
Fake tears go with fake assassinations, right? I mean, now we're getting videos from the other angle in Butler where you can see the Secret Service ushering people to the side, and not the one that we saw where they brought the photographers all the way around to get a picture from the front with Trump and the flag being lowered.
Yeah.
Uh, this was them moving them exactly right before to get them into place. It's so fake. And then
So fake.
they
I mean,
showed when they had an attempt on Ford. Then they showed the attempt on Reagan. You're on the ground, man. You ain't popping back up in the same firing line that you just got hit in the ear to stand up there and do your fight, fight, fight. Wait, I got to get my lifts back.
I need my lifts and get the flag in place. Fight, fight, fight. Yeah, that anybody who's dumb enough to believe that is fucking dumb enough to fall for anything. And apparently it's more people than you would think.
I know.
I mean, that was fake as fuck. And it wasn't even staged well.
No.
Again, like everything Trump does, it's fucking half-ass and shoddy as fuck.
And for 2 weeks of practicing that,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah. Just unbelievable.
That was pretty crazy. So there's a lot out there swimming around. Again, looking at the clock, we've got hours on the countdown, which again is pretty horrifying, terrifying, and just not the norm. This is nothing that I woke up and that you would expect to hear and deal with and be the reality. But here we are.
And it's one person affecting everything and everyone. Literally the whole world. And he loves it that way because everybody's talking about Trump.
Yeah.
What a fucking sad, pathetic person.
He had the Easter egg roll and he was talking to these 3 and 4-year-olds about the auto pen. He was talking about genocide to these kids. Like, I didn't come here for this, did I? Meanwhile, the one kid's looking at Melania and he's like, who's she? Oh, she's a famous actress, a movie star.
Oh, yeah. A movie seen by dozens.
Yeah, you're being kind.
Mm.
But I'm sure he made his whole staff go and watch it. So that's a dozen or 10 for sure.
You're paying for your own popcorn. And I'm docking you for the time that you're here watching this.
That's right. But enjoy.
Or else.
I guess we're on the countdown. I don't want to talk too much more about that. More positive notes. Artemis 2, if you're watching anything on C-SPAN 2, which we had a friend say it's the most C-SPAN 2 he's ever watched in his life. Yeah. Pretty cool stuff that they're doing up there, and just the videos are amazing. Like, never saw the backside of the moon, never saw the moon so close, never saw the Earth from such a distance. Yeah, just pretty incredible.
It really is. It just goes, it shows what we're capable of and what we can do when we actually want to do something to advance mankind instead of tear it all down.
All right. Well, in the 2027 budget, he wants to cut NASA by 27%. You had your fun, okay?
Yeah, you got your little ride around the moon.
Yeah. That was that's still pretty prideful to see and know against this backdrop of doom and gloom and death and destruction. Kind of nice to see that there's a lot more out there in the universe than just us and our pettiness for bullshit, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, well, and just our whole love of money. That's the only thing that matters in this society is just money. How much you got, how much you can get, where can you get some more? Who can you take it from?
Who can you take it from? Yes. Yeah, it's very that part's extremely depressing.
Hmm.
The draft's coming up in Pittsburgh. That's in a couple weeks.
I think 16 days from today, I believe. Yeah.
16? Okay. Hopefully they'll be ready. I saw parking in some of the parking garages is $500 a day, and that's if
Well,
you sign up early for it.
but I think I can't remember if it's the Pirates or the Penguins that have a game that night too. So it's
Oh,
going to
yeah.
be quite something, quite the big night in Pittsburgh. Take the train if you're
Yeah,
heading downtown.
for sure. I did see with the NFL that it's going to take 10 different streaming services to watch all NFL games, including Netflix, Prime, NFL Network, Peacock, Fox, CBS, ESPN Plus, Peacock Plus, YouTube TV, and the Sunday Ticket. Yeah, along with the NFL Network. So that train never stops.
It never stops. And Mark Cuban once said, pig gets slaughtered. And Jerry Jones replied, well, you know what? When a duck quacks, you feed it. So the owners are all in. They don't care. They're going to push it as far as they can. But dude, I'm not subscribing to a bunch of streaming service, anything that I don't already have just to watch, another NFL game.
A game, maybe
A
two.
game, it's just not that interesting.
I would agree. Yeah, I think it's just too much, but some people pay for it. I just don't, I think like to your point, 10 different services, it's way too much.
That's insane. And I wonder how many people are going to be able to afford that if we keep going on like we are.
Sure. Plus burning the time, essentially.
And you wonder how much of this is tied into just the rise of legalized sports gambling. People watching these games just so they can keep an eye not only on their fantasy teams but also on their parlays, their in-game parlays, and all of that. Like, Jesus. I mean,
It's funny you'd say that because there was a guy that had a parlay and it was Detroit and the Penguins, which I was like, wow, is that coming up? Oh, that was already done. And he had to wait 10 days for the national championship, right? So the only part of that parlay was Michigan winning the national championship. And I'm just like,
did he win it?
yes. But I'm like, how'd you even put that together? And who that's such a gap in time, like to put those two wagers together and make it your parlay was crazy.
Oh yeah, that's I don't know. Hats off to him. He won it. Good for him.
Sure. Well,
But
I'm not a gambler, so I just couldn't process the fact that you bet on this thing and then something 10 days later, and what happens in between? There was so much more you could have wagered on in between.
oh well, he probably was. That didn't stop him. But it's just interesting. There was an article in the New Yorker, and the writer got $10,000 from the magazine's fund to spend a football season betting. And this guy was actually a Mormon, so he had to go to his bishop or deacon or whoever the Mormon spiritual advisor is, and basically get the buy off because Mormons aren't permitted to gamble. And he said, well, it's for work, it's for research. So he got the blessing and went ahead and did it. And, the first couple of weeks, he, placed a couple bets, won a little bit. And granted, so he had a $10,000 budget. And the more he went down the rabbit hole and the more he learned, like he talked to Nate Silver, the stats guy. And Nate Silver is like, give it up, you're not going to win. He's like, 95% of their revenue, the sports books, comes from like 10%
Oh, wow.
of their hardcore bettors. But this guy, this is a guy who never really had any interest in gambling his whole life. And the more it went on, the more he got sucked in. He found himself like, he won a couple of times, so he got himself all, you know what, I really can make money doing this. telling his wife, we're going to remodel the kitchen on my gambling winnings.
Oh my God.
Forgetting that it was the magazine's money, first of all. But as the season went on and he started losing money and he found himself just becoming more and more sucked down this rabbit hole, checking his, phone constantly, at his family dinner, looking at his phone and, watching one of the football games that he had on over Thanksgiving, and basically getting so fed up that he was losing that all of his friends and guests left. This is, a very mild-mannered guy. And by the end of the season, came down to the Super Bowl, he was down $5,000, and he's just like chasing parlays all over the place, just trying to like recoup his losses. And he ended up losing big time.
Dang, that sounds terrible.
It was terrible, but the NFL loves it though.
Well, I'm sure they're getting their taste. How could they not to allow it?
Yeah.
I mean,
so yeah, they don't care, and I'm sure well, I got to subscribe to everything. I got to see every game so I can keep an eye on all my bets, because I got to remodel my kitchen.
Not so fast. Nobody wins. You ever been to Vegas? You're not leaving a winner.
You're not leaving a winner, no.
And if you find that system, somebody's going to escort you to the airport.
That's right. You want the hammer or the hand?
Yeah. So be smart out there. Keep your money for other things other than gambling, I guess.
Yeah.
Happy endings. Raquel for the Penguins was the #1 star of the week.
What, 11 goals in 10 games?
I'm sorry?
11 goals in 10 games?
Yeah. And Erik Karlsson was the Penguin Player of the Year. Seemed like a pretty good accolade. The award for everyday guy was Crosby, the player's player. I saw today they did their team picture. And of course, the camera sees the guy standing around. You see the goalie, and then you look in the background, and there's Sid pushing the fold-up chairs back to the Zamboni door.
That's just who he is. He's that guy. He's a gem. He really is.
Pretty amazing. But yeah. Anyway,
one of the writers was saying, Crosby's always very personable, a very positive person, but he just seems to have an extra lift to him because they are, pretty close to clinching a playoff berth, and he's just really excited. And he lives for that. And I think, as he gets healthier and starts to feel better over the next, couple of weeks, he'll be a force in the playoffs.
I think so too. And if they can get Lizotti back, they brought up the Russian goalie today. So he's practicing with them. They have a couple more days off and back to work.
Back to work, finish strong. And hey, maybe we'll get a first round matchup with the Flyers. That'd be awesome.
That would be fun. Be like old times.
The team Crosby loves to hate.
That's right. And yes, and the team that the fans that love to hate him, even though he tortures them constantly.
Yeah. But to be fair, when Lemieux came back after his chemo, his radiation treatments, he flew to Philly and played that night against the Flyers. Had I think a goal and 2 assists, and he got a standing ovation. So underneath all of that, there is somewhat of a heart. So
sure. They are Pennsylvanians. I'll give them that. But Lemieux was super special. When we talked about the hat trick record for the Penguins being Lemieux having it, and Gino and Crosby having 14 hat tricks in their career of 20 years and 21 years, Lemieux with 40 in a much shorter body of work, just over the top insane.
Mm-hmm.
So, got to respect that, even if you're a Flyer fan, I guess.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
So, all right. Well, I hope that keeps rolling. The Buccos play the Padres tonight. We'll see what happens. They lost last night.
Yeah, they booted one last night.
I'm still on the I saw Reynolds misplay that ball, but I'm still on the wagon. They're not getting rid of me that quickly. Okay.
All right. Let's see.
We'll see what happens.
Hope for the best.
All right, deal. And I'll catch up with you later.
All right. Sounds good.
All right. Well, I appreciate you going through this. Today is just weird and very disturbing, but we'll see what happens. Watch the clock because we're getting close.
Tick tock, tick tock.
No, terrifying. All right. On that note, I'll let you go.
All right. Nice job.
All right. You too. Good seeing you.
You too.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
See you, buddy.
Yeah.